Hi, this is Suchi, and in our today's video, we are going to talk about code blocks in Python. So, what is a code block? First of all, a code block is nothing but a block of code, a collection of code that resides in the same block. Now, what is a block? Block means here we can relate to a paragraph. So, if there is a big essay or something, and we are dividing it into smaller paragraphs, those are called the blocks. So basically, whatever code we write into a block, they are generally executed together. So let's look into it in a more code level. We generally have this type of code blocks. These are the most common code blocks, which is conditions, loops, functions, and classes. Now today, we will talk about conditions, but before that, let me talk about code blocks a little bit. So if you are from a developer background and if you have worked in C, C++, Java, this kind of programming languages, you must be aware about brackets. So let me zoom into it. You must be aware about this curly braces. So whenever we are enclosing something in this curly braces, we consider it as a single piece of code. But in Python, we do not have this curly brace concept. So how we will make sure that this collection of code is coming together in a block? How we will tell that? So in Python, we can do that with the use of indentation. If we use the same indentation for 5-6 lines in Python, they will be considered as a single block. So let me show you with a conditional block. Now, what is conditional block? Conditional block is nothing but whenever we are making some decision based on some particular condition, we make it a conditional block. I have some number in this variable a. Now I need to check if this number is positive, negative, or it is a 0. So how I can check that? For that, it is a very simple thing. Whenever we are making any decision, what we generally say, if it is raining, let's take the umbrella. If it is not raining, let's not take the umbrella. We can go out without the umbrella. So this kind of conditions, this kind of decisions we make in our real life. The same thing we can do here. If the number is greater than 0, then we use this structure where we use a greater than 0, and we can add a bracket over here. We can omit this bracket as well, and then we can have we can add a colon here. So this is the syntax for if, then the condition and a colon. Now what we need to do inside this if, we need to, now here you can see, as I am using notebook, Python notebook, it is whenever I'm pressing enter, it is already indenting this to one tab. So whatever I will write here, print, let's say I'm writing positive, and let's say else print not positive. So this is the statement where if this condition is true, if this expression giving me a true value, then it will print this line. And if it is not giving a true value, if it is giving a false value, it will go to this else part and it will execute this else block. Now, if I add something here, so this is indented here inside this else block, but when I indent something in the parallel of these lines, a equal to 78 or if else, so this will come out of this if else part. So let's say print So if I run this code, if I run this piece of code, what will happen? As 78 here is greater than 0, and we can surely say that this will print this positive. So this will execute this line. After executing this line, it should not go to the else part. So this part will be skipped, and after that, it will execute this line. Now, let me execute this part. So when I execute this, whatever we expected is happening. So this is printing positive. Here you can see positive. Then this is printing this line. This will always get printed. What if I change the value of A to something else? So let me change it to minus 778. So here you can see this line will be executed and this line will be executed. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, the same thing is happening. Now you might say, okay, after printing positive, I want to do something else also. Maybe I want to do this. Let me copy this part. Now to push it here, let's say append A. So if it is positive number, I want to append it to this particular list, which is for positive, and I want to append this A to the negative list if it is a negative number or not positive number. We can't say it is a negative number because we have not added a condition for 0. So we can say if it is not positive, we can add it to the not positive list. So I can do this. So when we are indenting this line, line number 7 with line number 6, it will be considered as a single block. So as we have indented these two lines in the same block, with the same indentation, so these are considered under the if statement. And the same thing will happen to else. When we have indented these two lines inside this else part, these are considering these two sentences inside this else part. So let me print PS and NS NP. Here you can see as this A is minus 78, what is happening? This is going to the else part and it is appending this to the NP. Now, in case I have done this, I have indented this print statement along with this else part, which means it becomes a part of this block, this else block. And if I am passing any positive number here, let's say 100. If I run this, you can see what is happening here. You can see this if statement is satisfied because 100 is greater than 0. So this is returning a true. And let me show you, this is returning a true. We can check the condition here as well. You can see this is returning a true. So as this is returning a true, what is happening here? This print statement is getting executed. After that, what is happening? This ps.append also got executed. That is why the value 100 is getting added to this ps. So this line got executed, but this else part will not get executed because this condition is true. So what is happening? All these things, whatever is residing under this else part, else block, this is not getting executed. And the control after this, the control directly goes to this line. So this is what happens. So a block means whatever statements are coming under same indentation, they become a block without having any interruption in between. For example, this if. So this if statement is having this block. So this is a different block. Now there is else statement, which is having a different indentation. So here the block becomes, here this becomes a different block. Once we have some other element coming in some other indentation, this becomes a different block. This becomes a separate block.